Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Uvacha
Maitreya Uvacha.
Pitari Prastite Ranyam.
Pitari Prastite Ranyam.
Matuk Priya Chikirshaya.
Matuk Priya Chikirshaya.
Tasmin Bindu Sure Vatsi.
Tasmin Bindu Sare Vasi.
Bhagavan Kapila Kila.
Bhagavan Kapila Kila.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Pitari Prastite Ranyam.
Pitari Prastite Ranyam.
Matuk Priya Chikirshaya.
Matuk Priya Chikirshaya.
Tasmin Bindu Sure Vatsi.
Tasmin Bindu Sare Vasi.
Bhagavan Kapila Kila.
Bhagavan Kapila Kila.
Maitreya said, when Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the strand of the Bindu Sarovara in order to please his mother, Devahuti.
Pitari prasthite aranyam matu priya chikirshaya tasmain bindu sare vasi Bhagavan Kapila Kila. So, father what is the name? Kardam Muni. Kardam Muni left home. So, Kardam Muni was a great yogi. So, he was not interested family life, but once he desired, let me marry. So, Vaivasvata Manu, he brought his daughter Devahuti, and she was married with Kapila, Kardam Muni. So Kardam Muni, the wife, a king's daughter, but she was serving the husband, and the yogi in a cottage he was living, and she was king's daughter, princess. So working, she became very skinny. So Kardam Muni took passion upon her that this girl has come to me. She is not in a comfortable position. So by his yogic power, he created big palatial house, many servants, maid servants, garden, everything. Not only that, Kardam Muni created one airship. It was just like a small city. The modern airship, they have prepared 747, can carry about 500 passengers. Of course, very big. But Kardam Muni created an airship just like a small city. In that airship, there was nice lake and palaces and garden. And not only that, the airship traveled all over the universe. They could not make any airship to go to the moon planet, but Kardam Muni, by his yogic power, he created an airship which could go to all the planets. This is yogic power. Anima, Laghima, Prakti, all kinds of siddhi, material siddhi. Whatever he likes, he can do. That is yoga siddhi. not simply pressing the nose and making some gymnastics. One must gain the yogic siddhi. By the siddha yogi, he can do everything he likes. He can become smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest. Whatever he likes, he can get immediately in hand. Wherever he likes, he can go. That is yoga siddhi. So this Kardama Muni was a siddha yogi, and his wife Devahuti. So he had 9 daughters, and they were all distributed to the Prajapatis, just like Dakha Maharaj, Prajapati, and there are many others. And the only son was this Kapil Dev. He is incarnation of God, Krishna. And he is one of the Mahajan. Mahajan means authority. There are 12 authorities according to Vedic Shastra. One of them is this Kapila. Sambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kapila, Kumara, Manu. Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali Vaiyasaki, Bhayam. This is a statement of Jamaraj. Jamaraj is also one of the authorities. So, Sambhu means Brahma. And Sambhu, Narad Muni, he is also authority. And Shambhu, Lord Shiva, he is authority. Similarly, Kapila Dev, he is also authority. This authority should be followed. If we want to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if we want to understand what is the purpose of religious life, then we have to follow this Mahajan. Mahajana jina gatasya pantha dharmasya tattva nihitam guhayam Mahajana gatasya pantha dharmasya tattva. The dharmasya tattva is explained by the Dharma Setu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamikam Saranam. That is actually Dharma. And all these Mahajans, Sambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kapila, these also follow the same principle. We cannot understand very easily what is the truth of religious system, but if we follow this Mahajan, then we can understand. So that Kapil Muni is explaining to his mother the glories of devotional service. So if we follow him, then you also get informed what is the truth of devotional service. Mahajana jina gatasya pantha. Here another feature is that pitari prasthiti aranye. So it is the system of varnashram dharma. Panchasuddhi vanam brajat. One who has passed over 50 years of age, he must leave home and go to the forest and completely devote his life for spiritual realization. That is the system, varnashram. The name Hindu is a foreign name given by the Muslims on the other side of the ocean. They used to say the inhabitants of this part of the world as Hindu. Actually, you won't find this word Hindu in any Vedic literature. The Vedic literature, you will find varnashram. Who civilized human being means who are following strictly the varnashram institution. 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. So, 4 varnas means Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, and 4 ashrama means Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So for Brahmana, the 4 ashramas should be followed. Brahmana should become a child born in Brahman family and trained up nicely as Brahmachari, then he becomes a Grihastha, then he gives up the home. That is called Vanaprastha. And after that, he takes sannyas. So, this Kardama Muni did it. Because he was a yogi, he strictly followed the principle. So, as soon as Kapil Dev was grown up, the mother Devahati was given in his charge and Kardama Muni left home. Therefore, it is said that Pitari prastute aranyam matut piyati kirisaya. Now it is the duty of the son. Woman should be under the protection. In the Manu Samhita it is said that woman should not be given freedom. Nastyang satantata harati. They cannot properly utilize freedom. It is better to remain dependent. That is very good. Independent woman cannot be happy. That's a fact. We have seen in the Western countries, in the name of independence, so many women are unhappy. So that is not recommended in the Vedic civilization around the varnashram dharma. So therefore, the mother Devahati was given under the charge of his grown-up son, Kapil Dev. And Kapil Dev was fully cognizant that he has to take care of his mother. And therefore, matur piyoti kirisaya. It is the duty of the father to protect the girl very nicely. Women are very delicate, they should be given. So, during childhood, until she attains, youthhood, puberty, the girl is under the protection of the father. Still in India, the father takes care of the girl until she is married to a suitable boy. The father takes, and then the young husband takes care of the young girl, wife, and then some children are born and then grown up. Suppose a man marries at the age of, that is the highest. A boy is married not later than 25 years, and the girl is not married not later than 16 years. That is the system. So, a 16-year girl and 25-year boy, if the child is born, then when the man is 50 years old, the child becomes 25 years old, so he can take charge. So taking this calculation, even Kapil Dev was 25 years old, he was quite able to take charge of his mother, Devahati. So, he knew that father left my mother in my charge, and therefore I must take charge of my mother and keep her always pleased. Matut priya chikitsa. The boy is not irresponsible. He is always ready to please his mother. Here we have given these pictures in this Bhagavatam. Here Kapil Dev in a brahmachari dress and mother is taking lesson from the son. Now sometimes it is how the mother will take lesson from the son. That is the prerogative of the male. Stree, in the Bhagavad Gita it is also said, Mang hi partha vipasritya jepishu papajunaya striya striya shudra tatha vaishya. A woman is considered in the level of Shudra. Although a woman is married with a Brahmin, the woman is not offered the sacred thread. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it is also accepted like that by the Supreme Person. Striya Vaishyas Tatha Shudra. And another place, it is said that Mahabharata was compiled by Vyasadeva because the direct Vedic knowledge is not understandable. Sri Shudra Dijabandhunam Trina Suti Gocha. Tri means Vedic literature. They cannot understand. Sri Shudra Dijabandhuna. Woman and the Shudras and Dijabandhu. Dijabandhu means born in a Brahmin family but not qualified as Brahmin. They are called not Brahmin. They are called Dijabandhu. So this Mahabharata was made by Vyasadeva for these three Shudra Dijabandhuna. Therefore Mahabharata is called fifth Vedas. There are four Vedas, Sam, Joju, Rik, Atharva, and Mahabharata is the fifth Veda. And the essence of Vedic knowledge is given within the Mahabharata, this Bhagavad Gita. So, although woman is inferior than the man, still the Vedic civilization is so perfect that the man as father, as husband and as son takes care, full care of the woman. This is Vedic civilization. Therefore it is said that Matut Priya Chikitsa. The son was ready always to see that mother is not unhappy. My father has gone away, so she may not feel the absence of my father. This very word is very significant. Matut Priya Chikitsa. She was always ready to take care of mother, and the best care is to give her knowledge. Because women are supposed to be less intelligent, therefore they should be given knowledge. And they should also follow. They should follow the father's instruction, they should follow the husband's instruction, they should follow Guruna, learned scholar like Kapil Dev. Then their life is perfect. Dependent, remain dependent. Tasmin Bindu Saravare Avasit. They lived there in the Bindu, on the bank of the Bindu Sarovar lake. Avasit Bhagavan Kapila. Now Kapil Dev is Bhagavan. There is another Kapil Dev, Kapil Rishi. He is atheist. But here this Kapil Dev is authority and Bhagavan, incarnation of Krishna, Bhagavan, most powerful. Bhagavan means most powerful, all power. Vaishajyasya samagrasya bijyasya jasasya sriya jnana vairagyayaschaiva saraiti bhagangana. Bhagavan, all powerful, means that Vaishajyasya, all opulence, all wealth, all reputation, all knowledge, all beauty, all renunciation. In this way, Bhagavan is opulent, 6 opulences. And these 6 opulences is fully represented in Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is accepted. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And others, their expansion or incarnation, Vishnu Tattva. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Goswamis have analyzed the characteristics of Bhagavan. The first Bhagavan is Lord Brahma. Not first Bhagavan is Krishna, but the Bhagavan realization, the opulences realization begins from Lord Brahma. He is Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva means he is ordinary living being like us. If you become powerful in spiritual strength, then you can also have the post of Lord Brahma. And better than Lord Brahma is Lord Shiva. And better than Lord Shiva is Vishnu or Lord Narayan. And the best of all of them is Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam. That is the analysis of the Vedic Shastra. So, all Shastras accept the Brahma Samhita and I mean to say other all Shastra, Krishna's, even Shankaracharya accepts. So Bhagavan sang Krishna, Shankaracharya. He, this Mayavadi philosopher, impersonalist, he also accepts Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all the acharyas, Ramanujarya, Madhyacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarka, and lately Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all accept Krishnastu Bhagavan Sam. So Kapil Dev is incarnation and he instructed his mother Devahati, therefore to distinguish 2 Kapilas. One Kapila is the atheist Kapila and the other Kapila is Bhagavan Kapila. Therefore, Bhagavan Kapila is known as Devahati Putra Kapila. Both of them expounded the Sankha philosophy, but the atheist Kapila expounded without understanding or without perception or realization of God. And here Kapil Dev, he is expounding Sankha philosophy to his mother personally. Just like Krishna personally expounded the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, his friend. Similarly, Kapil Dev, Bhagavan, he expounded the Sankha philosophy to his mother Devahati, and that we are explaining. So, next verse is Tamasinam Akarmanam Tattam Marga Darshanam Sangsrutang Devahutyaha Dhatu Sangsmarati Vacha. So, this philosophy will begin from the next verse and we shall be of understanding Krishna. Because Krishna and Krishna's name is identical, we should always remember this, that you cannot chant and dance with any material name. Because Krishna's name is spiritual, he is Krishna. Therefore, if you go on chanting for 24 hours. He will never feel tired. That is the advancement. So here Kapil Dev, this is Tattva Gyan. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya jadatam api siddhyanam kaschid vetimam tattat. Just like this Mayavadis, they cannot understand that this chanting of Hare Krishna name is actually getting direct association with Krishna. Therefore, Prakashananda Saraswati in Banaras, he considers Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a crazy fellow. Crazy fellow. Why? Because he was sannyasi and he was not reading Vedanta Sutra, he was simply chanting and dancing. So, some devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much praised Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and in the presence of Prakashananda Saraswati, and Prakashananda Saraswati became very angry. Don't talk of this rascal sannyasi. He is a sannyasi, he does not read Vedanta Sutra, and in sentimental moods he chants and dances. Don't talk. Better don't go there. So that devotee became very sorry and he arranged a meeting between this Mayavadi sannyasi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then in the meeting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very beautiful in his bodily feature. So, it is summary I am speaking. So the Prakashananda Saraswati inquired from him that you are a sannyasi, you do not engage yourself in studying Vedanta Sutra, but in sentiment with some foolish devotees, you some chant and dance. What is this? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, my dear sir, my Guru Maharaj saw me a great fool, number one. Guru Mare Murkho Deki Korilo Sason. Therefore he has chastised me. What is that? You don't read Vedanta Sutra. You chant Hare Krishna. He has ordered me. Because I am a fool, I have no knowledge. Therefore, he has given me this engagement, chanting Hare Krishna. So I am chanting this Hare Krishna mantra and I do not know, I become mad after chanting and I feel transcendental pleasure and sometimes I act like a madman. So my Guru Maharaj has said that you are very fortunate. You are very fortunate. Then Prakashananda Saraswati very mildly said, it is all right, you are chanting. What is the wrong if you study Vedanta Sutra? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Vedanta Sutra we know, but not like you. We know. If you don't mind, then I can explain Vedanta Sutra. So he explained Vedanta Sutra that Brahma means the biggest. So Brahma is Saraisajya Purna, biggest, means he is full of all opulences. That is biggest. He is the richest, he is the wisest, he is the most beautiful, he is most famous, and in this way he explained that Brahma, the biggest, he cannot be impersonal. He is personal. He gave many instances from Vedic literature. In this way, he convinced that the way you study Vedanta Sutra, that is not the proper way. Vedanta Sutra means to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. As Krishna says, Vedaishta Sarvai Ahameva Vedam. By the study of Vedas, if you have attained perfection, then you should know what is Krishna. Krishna also says, Jatatamapi Siddhana. Siddha means those who are liberated. Liberated means those who have no more the bodily concept of life. They are called liberated, Brahma Bhuta. Prasannatma. So long one is in the bodily concept of life, he is conditioned. He is conditioned, he is not liberated. And when one understands fully that he is not this body, he is pure soul, aham brahmasmi, when he realizes, then that stage is called liberated. The liberated stage is not final. If you simply understand that you are not this body, you are spirit soul, that is not sufficient. You must act as Brahma. You must act as Brahma, then you will stay. The Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankati samas sarveshu bhutesu madbhakti lavati param. So bhakti is attainable for the liberated person. Bhakti is not for the conditioned soul. Bhakti is for person who are already liberated. How it is possible? Yes, it is possible. Krishna says, Mancha vyavicharini bhakti yogena jasevati. Sagunan samatitayetana brahma bhuyaya kalvati. If you engage yourself in devotional service, Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasam Sakham Atmanivedanam Tanmanne Adhitam Uttamam. One who is engaged in this 9 different processes of devotional service, the first beginning is Sravanam, hearing. So, under the direction of the spiritual master and the Shastras, immediately he is liberated person. He doesn't require to make separate endeavor for becoming liberated. Because immediately he engages himself in devotional march of Abhyavichar, unfailing, strictly, dhirabrata. Satadam kirtantam mam jatantascha dhirabrata. Firm conviction that I am engaged in Krishna's service. I am now free from all material contamination. Dhirabrata. So one has to do it. This is Tattva Gyan. Tattva Gyan, here it is said, Tattva Marga Agra Pradarshana. This is Tattva Gyan. Of course, as it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Sabdat. The absolute truth are differently understood according to the different position of the student. The absolute truth, some of them understand that absolute truth as impersonal Brahma, and some of them understand the absolute truth as localized Paramatma. and some of them understand the absolute truth as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna or Vishnu. They are not different. Brahma, Paramatma and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are one. They are simply different phases. It is simply angle of vision, just like a mountain from a very distant place you'll see just like hazy cloud. And if you come nearer, then you see something green, very high, raised, earth. That is one vision. But you are seeing the mountain. From the distant place you see it is hazy cloud. As you come nearer, you see something green. And if you actually enter the mountain, you will find there are so many houses, so many trees, so many animals. The vision is the same mountain. But on account of my different position, I see hazy cloud or something green or something animated. But the final stage is the varieties. A mountain, there are so many trees, so many animals, so many men, so many houses, variety. So, the absolute truth is not without varieties. That is spiritual variety. That is not material variety. But the Mayavadis, they think that because they are seeing the absolute truth from distant place, far away, they think that in the absolute truth there is no variety. As soon as there are varieties, it is material. That is their misunderstanding. No. The absolute truth is described in the Brahma Samhita. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vrikha lakha briti susuravi ravipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra sata sambrama sevamanam govindam adipurusam tamaham vajan. There are, in the spiritual world, there are Vaikuntha lokas, there are inhabitants, the devotees, they are all liberated persons. There are akkhara, they do not fall down. Khara, akhara. We are kharas. We have fallen down in this material world. But there are devotees in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha loka, they never come down. Never come down in this material world. But they are also persons like us, but eternal persons with full knowledge and life of blissfulness. That is the difference between them and us. That is Tattva-gyan. Unless we understand the varieties of the absolute truth, if we simply stick to the indefinite, impersonal feature of the absolute truth, then there is chance of falling down. Generally they fall down. Arujya krichena parang padang tata patanti adha anadita jusmadangraya. Because they are not allowed to enter into the Vaikuntha planets. They simply remaining in the Brahma effulgence, that does not stay. They fall down, again they come down in these material varieties. We have seen many sannyasis. They first of all give up Brahma Sattva Jagat Mithya. The Jagat is Mithya and Aham Brahmasmi, I have no more anything to do. I have become Narayan. Then he comes down again to feed the Daridra Narayan. That's all. He becomes Narayan, but he comes to take activities in feeding. Why it is Mithya, you have already left. Why do you come here again? Because that means he hasn't got anything. The unnecessary labor, arujya krichyana, they undergo severe penances and austerities. and they reach up to the impersonal Brahma. But because there is no pleasure, suppose if I send you in a nice aeroplane in the sky, there is no varieties. They are just like so many aeronautics. They after flying in the impersonal sky, they become tired, and sometimes they pray to God, please let me go back to the land. And I have read in the paper when the Sputnik was carrying the Russian aeronautics, he was simply seeing down where is Moscow. Where is Moscow? Because this impersonal traveling was very much agitating. He was finding out where is Moscow. So this kind of realization of the absolute truth will not stay. Will have to fall down. Exactly like that. The Russian aeronautics, without getting any shelter in the sky, he was simply hankering after Moscow. That my book, that Easy Journey to Other Planet, one gentleman, he became very much enthusiastic that, oh, we can go to the other planet, and yes, you can go, read this book, then I shall come back again. And why you shall come back again? You shall remain there. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I shall go and come back. So this is the the mentality. Why this mentality? The mentality is that without varieties we cannot enjoy. Variety is the mother of enjoyment. So the impersonal Brahma realization or Paramatma realization does not give us steady ananda. We want ananda. Anandamaya Vyasat, the living entity or Brahma or Parabrahma. Just like our Krishna, he is Parabrahma. He is enjoying ananda. Similarly, we also being part and parcel of Krishna, Mamimangsa Jiva, we want ananda. So ananda cannot be in impersonalism or voidism. That is not possible. Ananda means varieties. When you get varieties of foodstuff made of the same ingredient, same, grains or milk and sugar, but we can prepare hundreds and thousands of preparation, at least 100 preparation, we enjoy. This is peda, this is barfi, this is kheer, this is rabdi, this is dahi, so many things. So variety is required. Variety is required. So therefore, the last word of Tattva Gyan is to understand Krishna, who is full of variety. So here Kapil Dev is Tattva Marga, Tattva Marga Agra, Agra Pradarshana. So Kapil Dev is the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He would explain to his mother, that we shall read from the next verse, what is Tattva and how we can approach the Tattva Gyan and how we can enjoy, not that simply dry speculation. Dry speculation. One, that professor who has said that this Bhaktivedanta's book is not dry speculation. Order all the books made by him. So our this Krishna consciousness movement is not dry speculation. There are varieties, but there are spiritual varieties. People misunderstand that these varieties are material things. They want nirvishesh, nirakar, void. But our philosophy is not voidness. It is full of varieties and full of transcendental bliss. Thank you very much.